Good afternoon, everyone. I am Dr. Will Kohler, and this is part two in a series talking about how to conduct a literature review. Once again, I just wanted to remind everyone that I've taken this series from this book here, The Literature Review, a 6-step process. All right? So what is the purpose of this lecture? First, I'm going to help you develop a personal interest into a research interest. Secondly, I'm going to help you refine that research interest through specificity, focus, and perspective. And then thirdly, I'm going to help you write a preliminary topic statement from your refined research interest. Once again, this is the 6-step process of writing a literature review, and this is the first step, selecting a topic. So here are some terms that you're going to need to keep in mind as we go through the rest of this lecture. First is personal interest. This is the subject or the question that first inspires your interest in conducting a literature review. Secondly, research interest. This is a personal interest that has been refined by specificity, focus, and perspective. And then thirdly, the preliminary topic. This is a research interest that has been refined enough to be a potential topic, but hasn't yet been tested by research or literature review. So let's start with personal interest. Choosing a personal interest is fairly easy. So you can draw from professional experience, personal experience, current events, history, or imagination. So for the purposes of this lecture, let's say that I have a personal interest in learning more about the child welfare system. So moving from a personal interest, the child welfare system, into a research interest takes a little bit of work. So let's back up a little bit here. If you're a graduate assistant listening to this lecture series, it's more than likely that your faculty supervisor has given you some sort of research interest. It may not be clearly defined, or it may be very refined, and you just have to write your topic statement. The same with a research paper in a class. If you're taking a class and you have to write a research project or getting ready to do a research presentation, you have to take a personal interest and just refine it into a research interest. And this will be defined, at least in part, by your assignment that you have to do. So let's talk about the 3 transformations that you need to work with in order to refine a personal interest into a research interest. Specificity, focus, and perspective. Let's start with specificity. So most beginning researchers choose a research interest that is too broad. So my personal interest was I want to research the child welfare system. So there are so much to learn about the child welfare system, right? And there are so many different components. So instead what you need to do is specify a part of the child welfare system. So out of all of the components of child welfare work, I'm going to choose the foster care system. And more specifically, I want to know about adolescents who age out of the foster care system. So they're still in the foster care system when they reach an age of young adulthood. Second, I want to focus my personal interest to a research interest. And how I do that is first list the different components of your interest. So we have it specified down to adolescents who age out of the foster care system, right? So there are several different components of those. I need to list those out. So maybe I want to know about mental health of adolescents who age out of the foster care system, or what is their career path. Maybe I want to learn more about the career paths. Housing. Maybe I'm interested in knowing about housing after they leave their foster home. And physical health. So there's a list of interests that I need to come up with. Then I need to choose a component from this list. So I'm going to choose career path. I want to know more about the career path of adolescents who age out of the foster care system. All of those others on the list are definitely interesting, but for this purpose, I want to choose a career path. So then I want to write out all of the questions I have about this career path. How many go to college? What do adolescents who age out major if they do go to college? How many struggle in their first year? What if they drop out or fail out? What happens to them then? So I have all of these questions. And then what I want to do is I want to choose one of those questions and focus my topic. So I'm going to choose how many adolescents who age out of the foster care system and attend college struggle within their first year. Finally, you need to choose a perspective from which to view your research interest. So, there are several perspectives that we can take in social work practice. But Edinburgh's program has a trauma-informed focus. So I want to use the perspective of trauma-informed care in my research interest. So finally, I want to research how to work with first-year college students who have aged out of the foster care system and are at risk of dropout from a trauma-informed perspective. So it has specificity, focus, and perspective. So if you're still struggling with how to write this preliminary topic statement, and it's important to know in my classes I call this a research proposal. I like to know what you propose to research, what your research topic is before you conduct the research. So I call this a research proposal, and often I'll ask you to submit it and for me to approve it before you move on and start. So to write a preliminary topic statement, here's a suggestion. In 7 sentences or less, write the interest, issue, or concern of your research. Then cross out at least 2 of those sentences. Cross out the least important sentences. Then I want you to cross out any unnecessary words or phrases. A lot of times we put in filler and we really don't need them, or the sentence still means the same if we take out the phrase. And then fourth, I want you to reduce your remaining draft to 3 sentences that answer these questions. What specifically are you studying? What is the focus of your study? And from what perspective are you looking at it? So let's wrap things up. As a matter of review, ask yourself these questions. Are you able to develop a personal interest into a research interest? And then are you able to refine your research interest through specificity, focus, and perspective? And then thirdly, are you able to write a preliminary topic statement or research proposal from your refined research interest? All right, thank you.